And it's going to be off we go to Munich via Badia taxis. Steve has an illness, chronic illness, that necessitates we spend a little more on private transportation instead of taking buses and trains. He can't do it. I mean, we cannot drag or schlep suitcases on and off trains and on and off buses. But I'm really happy because we're going to go up and over the Val Gardena through Selva, Ordesy, all those areas where Steve and I hiked and snowshoed many times. That's the Pass Gardena way up there. Pretty amazing scenery, isn't it? Pass Gardena. I think it's 7 or 8 kilometers from Corvara up to the top of the pass. There's a Via Ferrata up there. He said with 2 people, but I can't quite make them out. My hint for the day is when you're going through these mountains, I strongly suggest you take a Dramamine or anything for car sickness before you head out. Lots of twisty-turny. And up there's the pass. There are trails all the way up. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. Here we go, the pass. Look at those spires. And here we go, the Pass Gardena. I think it's about 2,000 in altitude. Look at all the cars up here. You can take a bus up here. And on the other side is the Sella group. Steve and I have visited this side of the Val Gardena on several times, as I think I already said. We've snowshoed, we've cross-country skied another time, trails everywhere. And this side is a Sella group of Dolomites. In the winter, you can ski all around these massives on both sides of the Dolomites. It's called the Sella Ronda. The other day, Steve and I counted a procession of a minimum of 50 motorcycles making their way up and over one of the passes. Lots of small towns in the Val Gardena. And buses run the whole length of the valley from Bolzano. Now this is Selva. Let me see if I can pick out, if we go by. We stayed several times opposite the tourist office, but it's been a long time since we've been here. That's where we stayed, directly ahead Hotel Posta. I recognize it. They had excellent food, if I remember, but it was a long time ago. Very long time ago. If I remember correctly, Selva is the biggest town in the valley. Sorry, lots of reflections in my glass. Lots of motorcycles. Santa Cristina. Now we're coming to Ordesy. The last big village. There's Ordesy, Selva, and Santa Cristina are the 3 big villages along the Val Gardena. A few years ago, Steve and I walked and hiked in the Murano area and then spent a couple days in Bolzano at the end. There are vids up on my channel. The next big waypoint that I remember will be the Brenner Pass, which is where the border of Italy and Austria is. As I'm sure you can see, no more Dolomites. No Autostrada. Lots and lots of traffic. Vipitino. Not quite sure what that is. Today is a Sunday, and it's actually the end of the European holiday season, September 4th, and most people are heading homewards. And here we go, Brenner Pass and into Austria. Up on a hill is a lonely goat herd. Back in the pre-EU days, on the train, or when that you were driving, you'd have to stop for border control. They would get on the train, you'd show your passport, and move along. Innsbruck is next. Story time. Steve and I did our first big hiking in Innsbruck. Right now it seems like in the Jurassic period, and they had what was called Club Innsbruck, run by the Tourist Information Office there. Every day a leader led anyone who wanted to free. So there we are on the first day, and the tour leader takes the entire group up the humongous cable car that leads to the very top of Innsbruck. Steve is petrified because he was afraid of heights at that time. We get off, walk a few feet, and there we stand at the foot of a glacial cirque, which on my left is straight down, and on my right is a mountain wall and a teeny narrow path. Remember, I'm a novice. We live in Chicago. It's sea level, maybe 100 feet above sea level. I freeze and stay in the very back, taking teeny tiny steps. Tour leader screams at me, "Hey you yellow chicken," because I'm wearing a yellow jacket. "Come here." I walk to him, and he ties a rope around my waist and makes me walk in front of him. He says, "Here, yellow chicken, walk in front of me." I literally cold sweated my way down. There really is such a thing as cold sweat. All the way to the bottom of the mountain. And he instilled a lifelong fear of downhills, which persists to this day. I also have bids up taken in Garmisch. And out there is Innsbruck. Jenbach is the gateway to the Zillertal Valley. Meyerhofen, for example. Yep, vids up on Jenbach, on Meyerhofen. German border. We're pretty much back to flat ground. Our driver's GPS says it's 45K to Munich center. We're doing a very lovely 100 miles an hour. Not kilometers, but miles. But now we've got gridlock. So close and yet so far. All of a sudden the traffic opened up again. We're moving. I don't think we've stayed at this hotel before. We usually stay at Holiday Inn Expresses by the airport, but we use points for a free night. However, by the time you're done adding in breakfast and transfer to and from the airport, it's no longer free. Less money, but not free. And here we are, Marriott. Right there. Marriott, we're here.